It's time to go live, everybody. There's just too goddamn much to talk about. The class war has started. I gotta change my shirt real fast. Hold on. It's not like anybody's watching. It's not like anybody's gonna fucking see anyway. Could shoot somebody in the middle of my live stream and no one would ever find out. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. That's a joke about how nobody watches. Oh my god. Doodle-doodle-doo. All right. Sorry about that. Oh man, I don't even know. What am I going to do? That's a good thing to start with at the beginning of your show. What am I going to do? Sponsored by Checkers here. As you can see, the Checkers product placement right here. We have the Checkers product placement in the background. I went to the dentist yesterday. You'll be happy to know. They told me I need 2 root canals. Which was good news, actually, because I don't know. I've been putting it off. Obviously, dedicated viewers, loyal fans of the stream. Streaming is a so much better word than podcast. Podcast is just such a shitty word. Streaming, streamers, baby, like David Rave. That's a Dennis Miller joke, reference, whatever. What the hell was I talking? Oh yeah, I went to the dentist. They told me I need 2 root canals. So I looked it up on Reddit. It said, I mean, it's a dreaded thing. I haven't been to the dentist since I think like 2006. Like literally. So I've been, I've just been trying to maintain the status quo with the the bad neighborhood in my mouth. These old broken down abandoned tenement buildings in my mouth. And so the dentist did not seem that horrified. That was a good sign. The dentist wasn't like, "Oh my God, what have you been doing? Shame, shame, tisk, tisk." Yeah, please don't. What are you doing? I had a viewer. Get out of here. We don't need you. You're just going to make me nervous. I don't need any viewers. Lord knows I don't need any viewers. This is just about, I don't know. They told me that when you stop caring what people think, and when you just started doing it for yourself, that's when other people would start to pay attention. That is not true. I think the public wants some kind of bland, easy, something that's going to flatter them. I think we're seeing that with this assassin thing. The way the public is spinning this guy is kind of nuts, actually. Granted, I mean, the people have spoken, but they want it to be this story about this hot, kind of like class warrior. And that's true. I mean, that is what it is. We've seen his manifesto, right? Have people read I didn't read it. I think I read like the beginning of it. It was a little overwritten. Maybe we'll pull it up. Let's pull it up right now. The CEO Assassin Manifesto. He modeled himself kind of on the Unabomber, right? He's like sort of an Ivy League rebel from a rich family. I don't know if the Unabomber, I don't think he was from a rich family, but reportedly carrying a several page document when he was a president. At least he was doing something meaningful, right? I mean, we talked about this last time, is like it wasn't just like some senseless thing. DJ Public is spinning a lot of burnt vinyl leather. There you go. You heard it here first, folks. On YouTube. That's right. This is direct information from Clowncest. We had Clowncest on Monday. It was actually, yeah, GlueTube. That's your job, is to get people glued to you. That's capitalism. You want total dominance. Like Timothy Chalamet, you just have to totally dominate the media. Totally dominate, like Trump, like this assassin guy. You just have to take over the news cycle. The news cycle is the ultimate social media posts. Like going viral, you're not really truly viral unless you're like the only fucking thing they can talk about on the news. School safe glue tube sniffing. That's right, kids. Stay addicted. Get on YouTube, get on your iPad when you're a child, and just never stop. You think these iPad toddlers are bad. What about the Neuralink toddlers? They're just gonna be watching like SpongeBob core edits, sizzle reels, SpongeBob, Mr. Beast, core edits. We're not gonna understand. There's literacy is being vaporized before our very eyes, right? I mean, even this guy. Okay, so let's pull up the manifesto. I'm glad he had a manifesto. Hey, he's Italian. They're fucking anarchists and shit. They're fucking assassins. His name is Luigi Mangione, for Christ's sake. I mean, that is like an extremely um is Chuck Mangione implicated somehow? That's what I'm dying to know. Bruce Holiday in the house. Good afternoon. Chuck Mangione, the CEO assassin. Yeah, the Mario jokes. It's giving Mario. I did have a poem where I mentioned Luigi's Mansion actually about a month ago or so. It was in my election cycle because I was talking about. Well, let me just pull it up. So I kind of predicted this. I'm claiming it now. I've kind of predicted this. Where is it? Luigi's Mansion. I did have a reference to Luigi's Mansion. And I think this guy's name literally translates. I think Luigi Mangione literally translates as Luigi's Mansion. Maybe that was just some misinformation that I saw on the internet. That was some disinformation. But what the hell was I talking about with Luigi's Mansion? There was something. I don't know if it was Eric Adams. I was trying not to say fuck. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Luigi Mangione's notebook reveals chilling alleged to-do list. Supposedly, he thought about bombing Midtown, which thank God he didn't, because it's all Monopoly money. That's right. It's Waluigi, everybody. His real name is Waluigi. Waluigi would have bombed Midtown, but good Luigi, he just threw the fireball. He just he got the flower. He hit his fucking head on the fucking question mark box. He got the nuclear fire flower and he rained down fire and fury on this fucking CEO piece of dog shit. These CEOs should be shot like dogs in the fucking streets. Just kidding, everybody. That's just a joke. That's satire. This is for satirical purposes. The views and opinions reflected here do not necessarily reflect scenes from a life, Rotcourt International, or Matt Proctor. We'll take no further questions at this time. Wow, I've got 5 people watching. That's crazy. I guess the afternoon is the hot hour for YouTube. Good to know. I've been trying to go on late at night. I've been all over the dial. Thank you guys for watching. We're talking about Luigi, the people's hero, the Thirst King. Is he gay? He kind of seems gay to me. Maybe that's just well, apparently he couldn't have sex. That was like why he killed this guy. Because he's an involuntary celibate, okay? He's an involuntary celibate. He had some kind of spinal fucking surgery, I guess, and so he was in chronic neurological neuropathy. Basically, he's got what we all have. We're all suffering in horrific pain because of the healthcare system in this country. This guy is a hero, and now we're all seeing our reaction, and we're like, "Yeah, we love this." It's not the fake media being like, "Oh, this is bad. People are dying. Violence is not the answer." Nature is inherently violent, okay? Animals kill each other to survive. You have to kill to eat, basically. Whether it's a plant, usually it's an animal. People in this country love meat. Meat is murder, okay? Listen to Morrissey. Listen to Bjork. Meat is murder, everybody. Listen to Pamela Anderson, Golden Globe nominee. Hell yeah, I'm on YouTube TV, baby, with Luigi the Killer, the Italian mafia motherfucking hitman. That was completely a mafia style hit. This guy's like Jackie Jr. on The Sopranos. That was complete. That could have been a Sopranos scene completely. I mean, it was cold blooded, but all right. It was too much pressure having five people watch. Strangers kind of wander into this room. They don't really know what's going on. They go, "This guy's weird. Okay, see you later. I'll never watch this again." Kindness, not killing. Yeah, I mean, they kill us. They kill a lot of people. The healthcare industry kills a lot of fucking people, particularly the insurers. So the guy Unabombered it the fuck out, for better or for worse. The people can't get over how hot he is. He's the hot assassin, which I don't know. Is he really that hot? Is it hot because he killed a guy? Why is it hot? He was hot when he was wearing the mask. It was kind of an interesting, it was like a Lee Harvey Oswald moment yesterday when they were leading him into the jail and he was like screaming. It does feel like World War One or something all over again. It feels like some kind of weird precursor assassination. It's well, Pluto's in Aquarius, right? So we're moving into the revolution, the age of the revolutions. And so what has happened recently? The Syria, Georgia, 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 and now Luigi Mangione, a nice World War One style uh, ethnic European theatrical operatic. It was a Coppola style. It could have been in Godfather 1, Godfather 2. That was some fucking Vito fucking shit. That was some fucking Michael in the fucking bathroom with the fucking 3D printed World War II pistol with the perfect dark silencer. Uh Luigi Mangione. Did his I mean, he's Italian. Is that just runs in the bloodlines? That was a Pesci style. He whacked this fucking guy. He whacked this fucking guy. This fucking fanuca. This fucking farusha. This faracha. This coroacha. This fanuccia. That's carayacha. It's a me, Mario, Frangiapani. When you hear your family, yeah. But his family is some kind of big shot, aristocratic Maryland. I don't even know what the fuck they do. Obviously, I haven't done my research. Just kind of vaguely feeling the articles. I'm behind the paywall, okay? There's only so much I can do, okay? I'm behind every fucking paywall there is, okay? I live behind the fucking paywall. I live on the other side of the paywall, okay? There's kind of discouraging literacy, frankly, amongst poor people. It's much easier to watch TikTok videos and just hyper inhale. I'm on the Robert Cray wall. I'm in the Robert Cray Blues Project here. Mr. Magoo and the Blues Project. Clown Cest, everybody. Clown Cest brought a much needed kind of a Trumpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Sat on the fucking paywall. Putting his parents' credit card number into the fucking New Yorker just so he could read rich people journalism and feel like an intellectual. The only people that can afford to go to Columbia University are like Swiss bankers and shit. They have Swiss offshore bank accounts. They go between Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, Morningside Heights. and they get gunned down outside of the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan before their fucking conference. I guess he researched the guy. He fucking knew who he was. I mean, the dude was methodical. He went methodical. He went to University of Pennsylvania. And though I didn't really love the verbiage of his fucking manifesto, it really speaks to all the dumb illiterates out there who, oh, does he have a Substack? Does Mangione have a Substack? To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. I thought CAD was a design program. Like CAD, he was method acting. He was in the Sidney Lumet. My pick of the week, Sidney Lumet. Okay, I'm just now discovering Sidney Lumet in a deeper way, and you got to watch The Verdict. This was way before Mamet went MAGA. The Verdict really doesn't have a whole lot of Mamet speak, but it is insanely left wing liberal. It's like the ACLU Jewish lawyer movie, and it's incredible. Justice prevails. Not to spoil the movie or anything, but it was an optimistic look at the criminal justice system in a world where the Supreme Court is 6-3 Trump and outlawed Roe v. Wade. But in 1980, when that movie was made, there still was kind of it's like the dying breaths before Reagan of like the real left. Paul Newman is like this hero lawyer underdog playing pinball every fucking day at that bar on 7th and B, and drinking a beer with a raw egg in it. That's right. The red curtain is everywhere, everybody. We're drawing the red curtain across America. The communists have invaded, okay? The KGB, the Russians are coming. The Russians are here. They're in the White House. They're on Tucker. They're up Oliver Stone's ass. Even Oliver Stone is like pro Putin. So maybe they're the good guys. The internet seems to think so. YouTube seems to fucking think so. The right-wing manosphere loves fucking Putin. Zelensky is literally a clown. He's more like a Colbert. It's like if fucking, I don't know, fucking Steve Carell became the fucking president. And Steve Carell was like fighting a fucking, like, if Steve Carell became Bill Pullman from Independence Day. I remember in Independence Day how ridiculous it was. I thought that Bill Pullman like jumped in the fucking jet fighter. He like put a fucking flight suit on and a fucking helmet, like got in the fucking plane, was like flying against the aliens. But it's like, look at Zelensky. I mean, I guess he's not flying fucking. But he's in it. I mean, he's in the shit. It seems like they've lost 40,000 troops supposedly. It's crazy, the fucking casualties in this Ukraine war. It's already like hundreds of thousands of fucking people. Like, that is a World War style situation, to be honest. And all right, let's go on with the manifesto, shall we? He loves the feds and he uses CAD. What CAD, I swear to God, was a design program. Computer aided design. So I guess maybe he did some kind of 3D model for the gun. And maybe like what? He knew where the guy was staying. He knew there was going to be a 10-minute, and he said something about how it was perfect because he's going to kill the guy on his way. He's going to unalive the guy on his way to his bean counter conference. So like it was it was poetic. It was poetic, meaningful justice. How romantic. He wrote a little poem on the bullets using alliteration, deduce, whatever the fuck it was, reduce, reuse, recycle. He recycled this motherfucker. These parasites simply had it coming. See, like this guy's in the Ivy League, and Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. I mean, that's very redundant. You don't need frankly and simply. The US has a reminder, colon. The US has the number one most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. I mean, this guy was like, he was some kind of engineering major. He wasn't a humanities guy. He wasn't an English major. He had his head on his shoulders. He knew how to make money, and like he lived in fucking Japan and shit. I mean, I guess he came from money. He's like AJ. This is like an AJ crime. You know, Tony Soprano, like, it's all business. It's not personal. It's strictly business. For this guy, this is like AJ is frustrated. He's nihilistic. He's like a philosopher. He's like reading Nietzsche. And you know, he's crashing the fucking the SUV gas guzzler. What's going on? Into the fucking swimming pool and listening to Bob Dylan and shit. He's listening to the Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan soundtrack album and having a political awakening. And I don't know. This guy does seem like a hype beast or something. His backpack. He's definitely not a hipster. He's not a millennial. He's definitely like, I don't know. Everybody wears like tactical warfare gear now. Everybody's wearing like this under or like athleisure, this kind of like synthetic, thin. It's like post Gore-Tex. United is the indecipherable parentheses largest company in the world largest company in the U.S. by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy. No, the reality is these indecipherable have simply gotten too. Why is it? It's like it's his handwriting, I guess. At least he's writing in his own fucking handwriting. It's not a fucking live stream. He's not like a TikToker. I think he had a YouTube page. He did have a YouTube page. So he's one of us. He's in the manosphere. He's a YouTube revolutionary. The revolution starts on GlueTube, everybody. They continue. They've gotten too powerful. They continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space. And frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. So I'm just going to shoot this guy. I don't really want to go into it, but this motherfucker got to die. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, e.g., Rosenthal and Moore, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. This is the manifesto, or is this? Sounds like a statement he made or something. He does have a six-pack, so the dude is jacked. I mean, he's definitely got a hot body. At least, he, like all Americans, he's obsessed with the fucking gym and working out and shit and practical shit like engineering, CAD, whatever. Not the humanities. Fuck the humanities. Let the humanities die. They don't really serve the economy or anything. You can't capitalize that shit. All that does is like it's good for our soul. Who gives a fuck? We can't have people having good souls and like using language in like a beautiful, convincing. I mean, people want some kind of fan fiction level of writing. They want stuff with like this emphatic, frankly, simply, they simply cannot go, it's I don't know. I guess this is college essay level. If you're a business major or some kind of right-wing major or, just like pragmatic major, this is your level of like essay, 5-paragraph essay. Is Web3 a solution to Luigi Mangioni's healthcare manifesto from Forbes.com? Luigi Mangioni's notebook. All right, so he had a notebook. Sweet. So he's a notebook poet. Scrawling his insane fucking. I imagine we all are. You're just desperate. I mean, do you have a manifesto? I know I do. My whole fucking live stream. I mean, I would violence. That's why I host a clown cest, okay? Every week it's clown cest in the Red Room. because you're multiplying the love and the creativity. It's an exponential way to explode. It's an atom bomb. It's a chain reaction of creativity where it's like once you get people collaborating and taking that fire, that Promethean fire, and everybody's lighting each other's torch. And then you take that to the next place and the next place, and you start your own little clown cest. You start your own little cult, your own little Manson cult. No, well, Leonard Cohen has that line. So I've been going back to Leonard Cohen because his songs, "Democracy," "The Future." I've seen "The Future," and it is murder. All those songs came out in the Reagan era. He really was speaking in no uncertain terms about what's up, what's up, what's up. Clown cest. He was speaking in no uncertain terms about the oncoming. Smoke him if you got him, everybody. It's a game you can play at home, okay? Smoke along. It's legal. That's how cool YouTube is. It's legal on YouTube. Not like lame clock app where they'll ban your posts for taking the brain vitamin. We're trying to encourage people to take the brain vitamin, man. We're trying to encourage people to get the vitamin G. It's Green Day, okay? It's a green out here. It's the Green Party. It's the Green Party here with Ralph Nader and consumer advocates. Clown says is 100% for peace and love. Yes, absolutely. Hugging. Clowning is like this gentle kind of like rolling around. It's like baby almost. It's like becoming a baby. And it's weird. Our culture has this absolute like pathological hatred of clowns. Like, oh, it's it. What's more scary than clowns? Like, fuck clowns. But clowns are everywhere, man. And they have a modern dress. Like Bill Murray is a fucking clown. Look at his nose. He was made to do that. His shape, the way he moves. Like if you're a clown, you can have swag. Like Robin Williams was one of the most fashionable cooling menthol. Wow, there you go. We've got poetry in the chat, everybody. Feel free to just write a big poem in the chat while I'm doing this. This is not about just listening to me. It's about I am an accompaniment for whatever creativity you are committing against the evil and the darkness. Get on CAD, everybody. 3D print your own clown cest. So yes, clowning I think is it's a mockery of violence. It's a peaceful kind of like it's almost like a queering. It's a disabling the gun. I mean, even action movies are clowning, really. Professional wrestling is clowning. It's just this country, the violence is dialed up because people think it's tough, and that's how they condition us to do these jobs that kill our bodies. Our working class labor is sadistic medieval torture. And so they want people completely numb and dumb like animals so they don't feel anything. So they can just go to fucking work and like get CTE and get, and fucking ram their head into the fucking defensive tackle or whatever. And clown and so they want people to be tough. Never miss a day of work. I had a heart attack. I was right back at work the next fucking day. Because I'm a tough American. I grew up in a fucking log cabin on the fucking outback in the Wild West, fucking doing meth, having my teeth fucking fall out like I'm Chet Baker, and or like fucking Richard Avedon, or fucking James Agee, portraits of the Dust Bowl. We're having a kind of Dust Bowl in a modern disguise moment. I feel. Woody Guthrie. Where's Woody Guthrie? Luigi Manny. At least it's meaningful, like the assassins of the early 20th century. They had a point. It wasn't just like racism or like, hey, let's kill John F. Kennedy. Let's kill the most hopeful fucking people. Let's anybody that's like gonna do good for let's blow their head off. It's like, okay, they tried to unalive the orange nightmare. Hey, it's problem solving. All right, but I agree. Okay, let's get back to clowning, okay? Because clowning is really the focus here. Luigi Mangione, why didn't you just clown the guy? Throw a pie in his face. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody is fucking banding together behind this guy, at least in the fucking comments section. Maybe that's bots. Is that Russian bots trying to encourage violence? But um clowns are everywhere, man. People love clowns. I think Theo Vaughn is a clown, probably. Stav, that guy is definitely a clown. I'm not really into the people that Soupy Sales. There you go. Groucho, Woody, Jimmy fucking Fallon. Clowns can be sexy. How much Robin Williams was like a fashion icon. There's how beloved is Robin Williams, first of all, and what a warrior for love and peace and intelligence and compassion. And clowns say embarrassment is okay. It's part of it. It's like you're clumsy. You drop things. But you make it graceful. You make it elegant. You queer it into like a plie. You curve it and you kind of uh dance it into some kind of graceful surprise of laughter. And laughter, supposedly, it's positive, it's good emotions. I mean, that's why I smile so much, like fucking Ram Dass. Okay, maybe a smile is like revealing the knives of your teeth, and maybe it is a hostile, like the Joker smiles. The Joker is never not smiling, but he's not happy. He's crying on the inside. Are all clowns Pierrot? Are they all crying on the inside? The famous clown Pagliacci. You have to go and the doctor prescribes us, doc, I'm depressed. What should I do? I'm going to kill myself. Go see the famous clown Pagliacci. He'll make you happy. He'll make you laugh. Doc, I am Pagliacci. That's all of our story. When we're alone, the tears fall like Smokey Robinson. The tears of a clown. Bob Dylan said Smokey is the poet laureate of the United States. That's one of his common themes. I think musicians are clowns. Musicians can look cool while they do what they do and they sound cool. They're not really like making you laugh. They're kind of making you vibe. But, there's kind of a famous continuum between music and comedy. Wavy Gravy is one of my heroes. Hugh Romney, right? He's the kind of ultimate rock and roll clown. Not that he's really that funny. He's just kind of the ultimate smug hippie fucking kind of douchebag. But you gotta love Wavy Gravy because he's devoted his. I don't mean to call him a douchebag. He is a little smug, but he's devoted his whole life to like charity. He goes around the world with this Cena or whatever it is program where he fixes blind people. He literally restores people's eyesight. He's devoted his entire so Wavy Gravy, right? To me, he's like a link between poetry and clowning, literally. And he's in when I came back to New York after the pandemic, I had studied all this poetry culture on McDougal, things like Taylor Mead, the Gaslight, which goes right into the continuum. It comes out of the beat moment, right? Ginsberg kind of set off this craze of poetry readings where poetry was sort of this viable form of show business before stand up comedy sort of took over everything. But people like Taylor Mead, Hugh Romney are very much clowns, but they're poets kind of at the foremost. or at least, Hugh Romney was kind of a straight character. He wasn't this psychedelic LSD kind of like clown. He was this sort of affected, bearded beatnik guy, right? He was sort of like this intellectual, kind of pretentious seeming coffee house, but he was an MC. He was the MC at the Gaslight on McDougal, which is where Bob Dylan, and Bob Dylan writes about him in fucking Chronicles and shit. He wrote Hard Rain in Hugh Romney's apartment or something on fucking Hugh Romney's typewriter. So that's really what I'm trying to do with the open mic is like just do that. Is like New York, downtown New York has always been this kind of fermentation cross culture of like all of these disciplines: music, rock and roll, folk, acoustic, poetry, painting, drawing, clowning, pamphlet, fucking Alexander or Thomas Paine, kind of penny sheet manifesto, chapbook distribution. Richard Pryor, George Carlin, the fucking Blues Magoos, Al Cooper. Um, Poetry was a part of that. And in fact, if you listen to all those fucking rock gods of the 60s, they all across the board attribute basically one thing as like their inspiration, and it was all like beat literature. If you ask fucking Roger Waters or the fucking Beatles or any of them, they all talk about they read fucking On the Road or Howl or whatever the fuck it was, Corso, and that's what they thought was cool before rock and roll. That's what was cool. Jazz and fucking and Lenny Bruce and shit. And then rock and roll kind of came out in pop art, and it kind of became this more Coca-Cola type plastic, easy to swallow pop culture candy thing. Corso's Clown. Let's read Clown by Corso. And so, downtown New York can be a send in the clowns, everybody. I think it's time to send in the clowns. Are you hearing us? Are the feds? Is the FBI listening to this? God, are you listening? The deep state, Hillary, whoever you are, whoever's really pulling the strings, Soros, send in the goddamn clowns. That's what we need. Send in the fucking clowns. Is that what the poem's called? Is it called Clown? I do have Corso's selected or whatever. Collected, what is it? Minefield? I do have it. Where is it? Let me just get it. Let me pull it, from all these books. They're not just fake, okay? This isn't The Great Gatsby. These are real books that I do read. Where the fuck is it? My books are all kind of all over the place. Forgive me for 1 second while I search for this. Let me clown it up for you guys while I search for this. Look at these clown pants I'm wearing, you know? Um, and the body. So Wavy Gravy's Minefield, yeah. Wavy Gravy's famous quote is, well, it's not famous, but a, a clown is a poet who's an orangutan. So I'll let you to think about that for 1 second while I get this. We've had a request, everybody. There's been a poetry request. So we have to fucking. I was definitely looking at it. It's got to be over here. This is kind of where my beat. I've been seeing these videos. Do you guys watch these videos? There's literally videos, and I did this 10 fucking years ago, and I thought nobody would watch it. There's videos where literally people go and just go book by book through their fucking bookshelf and just show and talk about every single fucking book. I saw this video. It's literally like 14 hours long. It's a 14-hour like multi-part live stream where this guy supposedly he's got the largest home library on Reddit. They did a Reddit for the largest home library, and this guy's house is just full of fucking books. It's a dream. That's my live stream, really. to like have a fucking townhouse in the West Village that's just like full of fucking books. So this guy goes through his whole fucking library book by book, section by section. And to be honest, his taste is really basic. Surprise, surprise, he didn't have that much poetry. He had a bunch of fucking anthologies. He's like, "Oh, these anthologies are great because I already kind of picked the good stuff for you." It's like, fuck you, man. He didn't have any fucking poetry. It was like people today think George R. Martin is Shakespeare. Chew on that for 1 second. Maybe he is, but that's not exactly my point of view. I can't believe I can't find this book. This is so fucked up. Here is this is Wavy Gravy's book. While we're talking about it, this is Wavy Gravy's book. Something Good for a Change. Random Notes on Peace Through Living. And check this out. I ordered this off Goodreads. I literally got this for like $5 or something. Oh, wait. The fucking assassin, they tracked him through his fucking Goodreads. I think that's hilarious. I bought this off of thrift books for like $5. Check this out. He autographed it. Big fun. Isn't that an amazing autograph? Look at that shit. That's Wavy Gravy. Clown time is over, says Elvis Costello. I think clown time is only beginning. To Clancy. He inscribed this to some guy named Clancy. How am I not finding this Gregory Corso book? It's driving me nuts. To Clancy. Luck, love, and laughter. All your days. Wavy G. Oh, it's a maze. The clown face is a maze. See, you go in here for big fun. And then the clown face, you go through the maze and you reach the clown face. But it's kind of, there's the nose. This is really it's an interesting book. It's not necessarily oh, I do want to recommend also there's a really good Grateful Dead podcast where they're talking about Robert Hunter just came out with some book that's about it's about this era basically that I'm talking about. The sort of pre Grateful Dead when they were like a jug band and like a folk band, basically. Him and Weir started playing together in like 1960 or something. And Hunter was there, and so he wrote this memoir it's sort of like a novel that's all about the scene in Palo Alto. So it's sort of like his, I don't know, Subterraneans or something, where it's like a portrait of. So they had a podcast where I mean, the Grateful Dead, they have a huge fucking fan base, and so they have this great kind of archival resource where people care. They want to, they have a fictional universe. They're like Marvel or something, where just people want every fucking little thing they can get, like Kiss. They want to collect every fucking Grateful Dead thing. And God damn it, how am I not finding this book? I can picture it in my head. It might be in one of my stacks. Maybe that's why I'm not finding it. Is like I was looking at it, and so it's like, already taken out somewhere. But I do want to do a live stream where I go book by book through my shelf and just sort of talk about it, because apparently people give a fuck about that. Like I said, I was high in my tiny bedroom at the Slooge in like 2015. And I started to do that. I started because my bookshelf was always right across from my chair. So when I'd sit down, I'd just be staring at my books. And so I was like, oh, I'll just film those. Because I love, there's nothing more aesthetically pleasing than fucking books. Just to be honest. There's nothing that just like looks better on film. And so I'm always trying to find ways to get books on into the movie and into the video, right? Getting the paper and getting the kind of biblio into the new kind of medium. I didn't realize so I started doing that 10 years ago, and then I was just like, no one will ever watch this. No one will ever watch a fucking video of me filming my fucking bookshelf. But apparently, it's got millions of views. This fucking video. Let me look one more time. This book's got to be around here somewhere. God. I'm so embarrassed that I can't find this. My stuff is not that well organized because it's just kind of I've been living out of boxes basically for you know years, my entire adult life because I'm a fucking millennial. Who can we shoot to solve that problem? Where's the CEO of how much rent costs? Hey now, hey now, hey now. Yeah, Ben Callahan, everybody in the chat. Welcome. We're having a fucking lit ass session here. I'm trying to find, but we were talking about Wavy Gravy. So Wavy Gravy was really like an MC. That's what he did on McDougal Street at the Gaslight. He would read poetry, but he would host the fucking variety show with the folk singers and the fucking weirdos off the street and the clowns and Moondog. Yeah, I need a Dewey Decimal System. Well, the thing is, I really only have poetry books. So I just have one section, really. I really don't have a whole lot. Maybe that's the limit of my education. I feel like poetry can teach you everything. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong or misguided, but it feels like it's enough for life. You can learn about science. Okay, let me look over here. I'll tilt the camera over here. I'm looking for this fucking Gregory Corso book. It's got to be around here somewhere. Um, shit. I've got cultural affairs in Boston. I definitely was reading it not that long ago, within the last year. Son of a bitch. I feel like I'm shit. I doubt if I really have it. See, I've got Elegiac Feelings American, and I've got Long Live Man. Is it in one of those books? Let me look real fast. Is there a fucking index in here? We've got Elegiac Feelings American, which is about Kerouac dying, and then Long Live Man, which is Corso's early 60s book about the space, the happy birthday of death. There's not even a fucking table of contents in this. God damn it. I feel like I probably pulled it off the shelf and it's probably in one of my stacks. Shit. I've got Ishmael Reed selected, Ed Sanders, Leland Hickman, Tom Clark, The Happy Birthday of Death, of course. Let me just look in these stacks very quickly, everybody. Probably the less I do on this fucking live stream, the better. You're getting a tour of my living circumstances, if nothing else. Let's see if it's in here. I got Joe Chiravolo, Waylon. These stacks just kind of accumulate everywhere. And like you just kind of like stop looking at them for God damn it. Oh, well, that sucks because there's a few books that I'm like, I don't exactly know where they are. They're still in boxes and they're kind of some of my like best stuff. So I'm like a little bit uh fucking like anxious about that. But this Corso book has got to be fucking around here somewhere. It just has to be. I was looking at it not that long ago. Here you go. This is one of my all-time favorite books, Mammoth: A Whore's Profession. This is like a British collection of. You probably couldn't have that title today. Mamet, not the most woke. He's very anti woke. If you watch both both films we watched this weekend, Spanish Prisoner and uh Heist, have like multiple jokes about Chinamen. He's got all these fucking jokes in his movie about Chinese people. It's like, Jesus Christ. And they're not like the most hateful jokes. It's like, how long is a Chinaman's name? It's like, that's the joke, but it's like, Jesus Christ. I got William Carlos Williams. I got Borges. I got Sonia Sanchez. I got fucking Lotremont. And see, like, now I have to find this. Now this is like driving me nuts. I know this is probably boring for people, and this is like a side trip or whatever. But it's like I can't find this, and now I'm like worried. Where the fuck is it? Oh, is this it? Uh, Mammoth 5 television plays. It's crazy because I can picture the fucking cover in my head. You know, like a. Sorry to drag you guys through this. This is just driving me insane that I can't find this. It's got to be around here. It literally. This could be the whole rest of the stream. Is me just looking for this book. It's got to be fucking around here. I swear to God, I've looked at it recently. Maybe not. I mean, maybe it's just in one of these fucking boxes. I got confetti here. I think that's Eileen Miles' confetti. Oh fuck, here it is. It's on the top of the shelf. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. It's on the top of the shelf. Okay, here it is. Minefield. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. That was just a that was suspense. That's what we call that, okay? That was like probably the most thrilling thing that's ever happened on my live stream. The fact that we were all just we were all holding our breath. What happened to this fucking book? All right. Now this book, fuck, this book doesn't have a fucking this book doesn't have a fucking all right. This is not a collected. It's called Clown. Okay, yeah, Clown 76. It's in the Happy Birthday of Death. You're exactly right. 76, Clown. 1. Laughter dies long after jest. The Joker smiles no joke. A clown in a grave. Pranksters weep in purgatory. Laughter dies long after jest. Joy, Bella, the memory of the heart. Yet the face is a Joker smiling no joke. 2. This is a long fucking poem. He's got a lot to fucking say about the clown. Jesus Christ, it's very long. All right, I'm not going to read all of this. That's the thing about Corso, is just like when he gets on something, it's just like, Jesus Christ, there's just a lot. And he has this kind of rhetorical power that's just like pretty convincing. 2, like the jester who blew out candles, tiptoeing in toe bell feet, that his master, and Corso, right, is kind of this clown, alcoholic, drug addict. Yeah. He calls bullshit, right? He keeps poetry real. He could have been an academic, but he wanted to keep poetry honest. To be honest, maybe you have to be a clown. The truth is such a fucking killing joke. Tiptoeing in toe bell feet. that his master dream victories, so I creep and blow that the cat and canary sleep. I've no plumed helmet, no blue white raiment, and no jester of old comes. Wish me on. I myself am my own happy fool. As there are no fields for me to de-dragon, impossible to kneel before ladies and kiss their flowery gowns. I can only walk up and down, hands behind my back, dreaming dungeons and spikes and squeaking racks. For commoners, I put things on my nose and tiptoe with the grace of gold. For those I love and sit sad by stained glass, all my face the mystery of some joke. And for God I am ready with a mouthful of penguins. I lock myself away. I wash myrtle birds in the sink. Yes, I myself am my own happy fool, stale with dreamless jokes. Do I care? Yes, I care. I want to make laugh. Oh, if only I were a winding toy, or just a winter bunny in a huge imbecile's pie. I know laughter. I know lots of laughter. Yet all I do is walk up and down, hands behind my back, dreaming dungeons, spikes, and squeaking racks. 3. And why do they say be a man, not a clown? And what is it like to be a man? I can joke like a saint for my need, give in return for a goose leg, a glow. I need never know this joy I grease through life, or claim on woe substantial diet. Fat if I want to be fat. So easy to ice one's humor, to fan the sun. It is time for the idiot to pose a grin and foot on the dead lion, the embodiment of the clownless man. Time to grow a mustache, suck gin, and win the hard to get lady. Time to return from Star Trek and scrub the earth. This was before the show Star Trek, by the way. So Gene Roddenberry, did you read this? I think you owe Gregory Corso some fucking money, Shatner. Where am I in wilderness? What creature bore my bones to this? Here is no Eden. This is my store. Rooms, electric lights, a giant ocean on each shore. Am I the man to jack in the box each misfortune of man, be it sickness, death, or simply an unhappiness? That man, that old clown with bent hat and tubed beard, that loony tearfully recalling his rainbow ball. No, boot the jack of clubs into devildom. Turn somersaults in the circus coffins. The circus office. Mr. Death has the hero by the balls. I can commemorate black laughter too. Now that's poetry, okay? Has the hero by the balls. Mr. Death. Happy birthday, Mr. Death. You hit it. You hit it. You fucking hit it. Shelly, oh my god. I saw this picture of Gregory Corso and he was wearing these clothes that looked exactly like the clothes that my dad wears. He had this jacket and it was like his style was very like, I don't know. It was at Poetry Project. He was like standing over by the seals. For some reason they were doing the reading over by this that wall with that big seal on it. Let me see if we've got. Of course, it's not available in Google fucking retard search. AI. All right. Anyway, 4. Maybe I will read this whole fucking. It's like 10 parts. It's literally like fucking 5 more pages or something. So we'll see. We'll see how far we get. I feel like this is something we all need to hear. I still don't know if the clown should die. Yeah, there's yet the black greyhound, the lion to battle axe. Maybe that's enough. Is that enough? The champ of heaven leaning against a cloud with crossed feet, and the doomed myth centered in man war. Man war. If there were no clown but demon whiskers shaking pale blue flowers, if there were no smile, no climb of cherubim with lute and horn, no silvery chest, no sun-cast jug, no basin for swans, not the delicate forge itself, I doubt the reward of paradise, to be a place where happy old friends meet. I doubt it too. If the clown were dead, I don't doubt it. I'm not a doubter. If the clown were dead, the month of August would be weighed with sacks of sour wheat. Dead the clown, there'd be havoc. The angels, Trump is the ultimate clown from hell, by the way. Look at his makeup, his big fat clown ass. Not that he's fat, it's just he's like bulb shaped. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's a clown thing. You know, he is the ultimate mafia corporate clown asshole. The angels' jeweled apse would collide and smash a ray of doves. Fawns would lay waste the wood with fawn chewed babes. Oily melancholy fits the black boot now that the clown thinks to die. Men the size of islands sink their joy in the helpless protect of death. Oh, the whole tragedy, the weight of it, with complaints to laughter not to come. Tickle then the clown to sleep, for sleep he needs. Glum days poor America bears. Old America could tell of laughter often as clowns tell. Ben Franklin, W.C. Fields, Chaplin, the fat of joy. Their happy light is forged phalanx, charge. Snakes search the skies for flying rabbits. Monkeys draft jackals. Is the clown dead? I grieve to futures a fishy grin, for as I am, I gloom of history. A comical corruption, deaths in deathity. The clocked tower's scythed crime bodes sorrow in the life of man equal time. It's crazy to me. I mean, City Lights, right? Named after the Charlie Chaplin movie. And the influence of Charlie Chaplin and comedians on the Beat generation was one of the things that like allowed me to connect with it. On the road, he's constantly comparing Neil Cassidy to Groucho, the way he moves, or the fact that he even does it at all, you know, or Carlo Marx, right, is Ginsberg's name in the book. It has that sensibility. Neil Cassidy is sort of the ultimate graceful. Jerry Garcia tells this fucking story about Neil Cassidy, like when he met him, there some street sign like fell over or something, and Neil Cassidy just kind of like totally swooshed it into some kind of graceful, you know, like alpha fucking clown thing. And yeah, the merry pranksters, all that shit. Even Berrigan talks about WC Fields, and I think he kind of became a WC Fields. The way that he looked, he said something somewhere where like he was a combination between Fields and Yates or something like that. And you see Fields, I don't know, especially guys that generation. Fields is like the ultimate kind of like funny guy, funny man to them. He's kind of like the highest vintage, or he's like the finest wine or something. And then Chaplin's just whole, you know, Chaplin was a hero of the 20th century because he represented the immigrant class, and he has a look that kind of affect it's like Sephardic, or it's more kind of international. You know, he's almost like Freddie Mercury or something, where it's like Chaplin looks like he could be from a lot of different parts of the world. Maybe not necessarily certain parts, but he looks like he could be Latino or Arabic or Italian or whatever, you know, European, but he's British, right? And he's probably Jewish. There there's reason to believe that his father or something was Jewish, which makes sense. But you know, his work all is he's a champion of the underclass, the working class, poor people, people with absolutely nothing. You know, his character is the tramp, right? And so all of that, he's a vagabond, he's a traveling hobo, but he's this dancer and he's this poet. Chaplin was the poet of the cinema. If you look at the first fucking Sight and Sound poll, which they did in I think like 1951, it was a little bit after Citizen Kane, so Citizen Kane's influence wasn't completely there. Like half the fucking movies are Charlie Chaplin movies. Half the list is like I think even City Lights might be number 1. But it's like City Lights, The Gold Rush, The Circus. More than half the list is fucking Charlie Chaplin movies. And so the poetry, there was a sense that his work was like poetic, right? Because it's mime, I guess. Mime feels very poetic. But that's kind of what the clown is. The clown is sort of like giving voice, I guess, to the mime. There's I mean, what's the difference between a mime and a clown? They're almost like twins or brothers or fraternal twins. And it's sort of just like this there's something poetic about silence, which is ironic because poetry is all sound and language and read. I mean, so it's kind of interesting that they're kind of the same or something in a way. Yeah, Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. That was Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving tradition. Where's my fucking? Damn it! I gotta find my little ash thing. Um, it's something that I think is kind of shunned in poetry, being like overtly, or I don't know. I guess you really have to do it up and just like own it to make it work. But I don't know. I guess it's not the most glamorous. Poetry sort of supposed to be this dramatic, sad, black kind of inky cloaked. Is Hamlet a clown? Shakespeare is full of clowns. And there's something about when the clown goes demonic, though, that can be bad. Like Iago is sort of like a clown type character, sort of gone bad, where he just manipulates and tortures this guy because he's a racist or whatever. And Trump feels like an evil clown. But in a weird way, like Joker mode, not that I guess Joker mode is sort of over. It's been normalized. We've just acclimated to Joker mode. It feels like something men, not necessarily exclusively men, but men there's Harley Quinn, of course, and there's Folier Adu, but it's typically incel, right? People that are like Joker mode. That's like being based, being like a 4chan, um, red pilled. Remember a few years ago where there were all those clowns that were just like standing out in the middle of like country roads at night? There was like this meme that was like scary clowns, just like insane clown posse. So clowns are kind of more powerful than ever, but it's like, are they doing good? Are they doing work for good? Like I think a lot of the way they use clown is to sort of like normalize or like jackknife things in that are like, because is there a side to it that's like sadistic? Like that's the other side of Joker, right? Is he's wounded, and so humor is kind of like this knife. It's sort of like this sickness. He's hysterical because he's just lost his fucking mind because circumstances have driven him to just this beyond gobbledygook kind of insanity. I guess that's how we've all dealt with. I mean, let's face it, the last 10 years of our lives have been fucking crazy because of the insane clown president and the Joker modification of American everything, life. And for me, I mean, that's why I have this interest in stand-up comedy and um System Lord is basically a clown show. Like, yeah, Matt Taibbi, right? Insane Clown President. System Lord. Not that many people saw System Lord, but um, it was kind of the ultimate mode of performance for me, where I really can just do everything all the way out. If you do that at poetry readings, people get scared. With System Lore, it's like you don't really care if people are scared. You're like, that's kind of the point. You're supposed to just be like raging God mode. Like, all right, let me try this thing. Okay, I guess those are in there. Great. Um, Embracing the clown within, the inner child, loving the inner child, love, acceptance. Um, but I'm also interested in the clown's ability to be erudite, or to say things as well. It doesn't have to be. I mean, even with humor, you can get a point across with kind of a blunt. That's what I try to do with System Lord. If people watch that, I mean, it was all about politics. It was all about. I mean, that's why the world needs System Lord more than ever now, because it's how we grapple with these fucking people on their own terms. That's something that the coastal elites do miss a lot. They don't really understand that, like, the working class likes stand-up comedy. They like fucking Kill Tony. They like professional wrestling and Vince McMahon. They think it's like they're kind of divorced from the ethics of it to some degree, but clown is a way. I mean, if you look at the Brooklyn Backyard Wrestling thing, frankly fabulous. That was sort of like my clown persona, because it is a persona, right? You put on makeup. Some of these comedians, it's like they become the clown. Like David Letterman or something's got this big gap in his teeth. He's doing it so much. You just kind of learn. I don't know. You're making decisions about, or you're just a funny person. I don't know. To some degree, like, you can't help it when people laugh at you. People were laughing at me anyway in school. I've always been kind of a clumsy person. And so clowning is just a way to be like, okay, let me make that cool, or like, that's kind of swaggy. To me, like Buster Keaton, Doink. Buster Keaton and like Charlie Chaplin were like my style icons. They had really cool grace and the clothes they wore, and I've always tried to wear these like baggy 1920s style pants. When I was a teenager, I really thought I was gonna do like Buster Keaton style comedy. He was absolutely my fucking hero. you know, and I studied all his fucking movies, The General, Sherlock Jr., Our Hospitality. He was an unbelievable athlete, able to break falls, right? There's a whole skill set with clowning where it's like tumbling. It's catastrophe made um palpable, because that's one reason why I think like working class people, like guys who work in warehouses, like look at that Laurel and Hardy movie about them moving the fucking piano, or like the Three Stooges. I mean, how many fucking Three Stooges routines are about like getting hit in the head with the fucking board or something? Like, oh, I'm moving this board. Wow, whoops. It's like that's shit that actually happens to people on a job site. Like working class people can relate to that shit. I suppose we all can, but there's a rough and tumble aspect to life, I think, that Corso's got this poem has this interesting kind of like medieval. He keeps talking about their toes and like bells on their toes. There's all this like silver jewels, sterling, what was it, radiant cask or something like that. Mr. Death has the hero by the balls. So yeah, it's a commemorating Black laughter. I want to make laugh. It's very medieval, but each section is different. Like in this most recent section, he kind of goes into his contemporary kind of no nonsense. Corso has these different registers. To be honest, I have not read Corso that extensively because his stuff is, I don't know, it's kind of demanding on the reader. He doesn't just do a bunch of abstract kind of postmodern tricks. Like he says a lot of truth, and it's not like sentimental, but the images are kind of like, they're not cliche, but they're kind of like, I don't know, maidens and you know, I don't know. It's stuff that you would expect. It's like aesthetically, it's like that's like poetry. Fawn chewed babes, you know, cherubim, lute and horn, silvery chest, suncast jug, basin for the clown kind of lives in this Renaissance or like, I don't know, Sir King Arthur fucking kind of like medieval, uh and that's the troubadour thing, right? I mean, I think they're kind of companion characters. For me, Paul Blackburn is somebody who's kind of at the center of all of this, being Mr. Downtown, Second Avenue Cafe La Metro open mic host. Troubadour, he'd go to Europe on a fucking Fulbright or whatever, some kind of grant. He did all these translations. He would travel around Spain. So he making love to women, writing about it in this highly sexual way. Paul Blackburn's a little bit problematic because his stuff is incredibly horny and like graphic and like objectifying women and sexualizing women very much so. Like male gaze. It's male gaze the fuck out. But he was imitating or like thinking he was updating medieval troubadour traveling romantic minstrel fucking poets and shit. Like he did this whole book Proencia, right, which is his translations of those French and Spanish and European traveling. There's an Islamic influence there from the Moors, traveling, singing, right? Now we divvy everything up. If you're a poet, you're on the page, you need to publish. If you're a singer songwriter, you're going to record music and you're going to play gigs and you're going to be in that world. Poets, you go in your fucking closet. Singer songwriters, you go into this fucking room. You know, uh, if you're an actor, if you're a pickup artist, which is to say a romantic poet, they're one in the same. What the fuck do you think Lord Byron was? Allen Ginsberg was constantly trying to pick up on everybody all the time. Anybody who has an Allen Ginsberg story, it's usually about how he tried to fuck them or he wasn't interested. You want to talk about a cum slut? Pardon my French. I hope this doesn't get taken down. Um, so it's like that's what we do today. That's what we're doing today. Traveling open mic troubadours that we are within the city. The city being our little Spain or whatever, our little Occidental kingdom, our little territory of our little principality, our kind of sovereign republic, our kingdom of poetry, New York City, where we all have our little, you know, part of the turf. We have our little principalities. We're all like little, I don't know, members of the fucking court or whatever. But we travel around wooing each other, writing our hearts out, writing our hearts down. The pen is mightier than the sword. Clowning. But in New York, you have 100 million different scenes of dancers, actors, theater, off Broadway, Broadway, off Broadway, avant-garde theater, Buteau fucking people, you know, Alvin Ailey people, fucking dance space people, fucking Dixon Place, fucking The Tank, fucking Bushwick, fucking Clown Cest, fucking Torn Page, fucking Idiot's Hour, you know, fucking Easy Paradise, fucking Hot People Reading Poetry, fucking Pete's Candy Store, fucking Muse Near's Tavern, where we're going tonight for the 3-year anniversary for Goodfellas. Um, Clowning, Clown Town, baby. We're taking you to fucking Clown Town. You know, with poetry, that was what I was trying to do on Monday, right? Philip kind of gave me the assignment when you and this is something I've wanted to do forever. And if you watch some of my old readings, you can see me kind of do it, but getting the assignment to clown because it is like a specific, you know, when you're clowning, you kind of have to, I don't know, use your body in a silly way or something. And to me, energetically and just as a human being, it just feels so dead to just stand there reading. I just, that's what every poet does. But I want to move the energy around the room and I want to wake people up and fucking spread the fucking fairy dust and shit. I mean, it would be insufferable if everybody did that, I guess. It would just be a room full of orangutans, poets, orangutan poets, which could be really fun, but it's also a zoo, I guess. Or maybe it's just the jungle. Welcome to jungle. Is New York still the jungle? It feels more like, I don't know, the wilds in Columbus, Ohio. It feels like some kind of preserve. Bunch of people on safari looking at the fucking endangered species, which are us. The clowns, the poets, the freaks. We're the ones going extinct. It's just being taken over by a bunch of normcore fucking North Face athleisure finance assholes. You got to figure out how to be an influencer if you want to survive, which is not really art. It's more like cosmetic surgery or something. It's more like being like an Avon lady. Being an influencer is like working a, I don't know. It's like selling ShamWow. It's like an infomercial. It's like a never-ending infomercial for like your personality and how great your life is and how cool you are. Look at me. Buy me, buy me, buy me. Order now. Like, subscribe, view, click, click, click. Tell your friends, tell your friends. You just need a gimmick. You know, it's like some big bazaar and we're all just carnival barkers. Like, look at it. Get in here. Come in here. Come in here. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the freak show of my own life. Me trying to, you know, maintain, manicure this like public persona, this public image. Uh, but the people want to laugh. I don't know. Is the laughter is what got Trump. People like Trump because he's funny. They kind of divorce the clown from the man. They don't realize that having a clown. When was the last time we had a clown for president? I mean, yeah, I guess Bush was a clown. Was Obama a clown? Was Biden a clown? Bill Clinton, I would say, definitely a clown. Reagan, I think, was a dark clown. Nixon, definitely a clown. Gerald Ford falling down the stairs, I guess, was a clown. Was Johnson a clown? Kennedy, I was Kennedy like a sexy clown? Got his head blown off. I don't know. Maybe some people aren't clowns. What's the difference between a clown and just having a sense of humor? Even if you're like a hot chick, you could be a clown. Like look at fucking Sarah Sherm or like even somebody like who's that chick? Oh, Doja Cat. Like, I think she's sort of a clown in a way. TLC, were they clowns? I think Left Eye was sort of the clown. Okay. Should we talk more about Luigi Mangione and his fucking manifesto? Why didn't you just clown it up, buddy? I don't know. I think what do you think the French Revolution was? They were killing rich people. Um no, you don't want to talk about Luigi Mangione anymore. There's too much discourse. Well, I'm kind of, I haven't been on since last Wednesday, so I'm kind of this is my update, everything that's happened in between. I have to download because part of the point of doing this is like I'm trying to inscribe on the public record what what literally happened. So we had our Oswald moment. Neil Cassidy and the Stooges. There you go. Maybe we should read more of the poem. Let's go back to the Corso poem, okay? Oh, I didn't bookmark it. Fuck. I'm slacking. Um, I don't know. I'm like more of a postmodern guy in a way. Okay, I was on 76. Proud, boastful buffoon, at full your fancies, swift, swing swift, young year to old year. Is it for death you rend black prophet? This meager vanity deserved me. It is life has flawed my gentle song. Sad intelligence examples my secret rich behavior. O foremost physician dying at my dying side, good tricker, I distinguish your twisted floors, your ribboned furniture, your anguished doors. Ho, you good, mad pest of joy! I won't stab your eyes with night, or place a watchman's apy grapple to nab you with his moral tickle. Corso is also in jail. He was like a juvenile delinquent. He's like a Bowery boy. He's like Hunt's Hall or something. You are not laughable. You have never been laughable. You have always been you, clown. A graft of lunacy on. I think people do poetry to get away from clowning. A graft of lunacy on heaven's diadem. Is Ron Paget a clown? I mean, he is an ass clown. Yet I die in thee. Fill your heart my tomb. Forgive me, lovely one. Oh, there's that in me wishes each laugh would knit an eternity of hilarity. No, I shan't crowd your brainy grave. It's like Shakespeare. It's enough I climb your jolly ladder and have planets kick dust in my eyes. Don't despair, kind child of joy. You'll get to God and ease his dreadful tightrope, gendering God as a man, but it was 1960 or whatever. I mean, this is an incredible fucking poem. This is kind of reminding me of what poetry is. I used to write poetry before I was a notebook. Now I just try to be low key. Climb your jolly ladder. Climb your jolly ladder. We all know what that means. Keep climbing your jolly ladders, you freaks. 6. The punches of winter knocked out a herd of deer. Winter left the wood like a plate of chicken bones. Just like every line just blows your mind. The naked clown shivers by the snowy brook. The sleeping bear wakes to mock his bony blue legs. Hold on, clown. Every stone is cosmos. Every tree made of laughter stuff. Paint wide your mouth white. With elm leaves, make fake ears. Redden your nose with lizards. Be ready. Spring will soon step out from behind a tree like Eve from the side of Adam. Tang-a-lang boom, fife, fief, toot. Spring welcomed by Barnum Parade clears jammed melancholy. Traffic of a laughless age. Mothers break their backs getting out winter babies. We're just starting winter, everybody. Children climb daringly and sit with shirt sleeves on the shoulders of statues. Cherry blossoms swell joy in the hearts of the old. Girls skip, boys gather, dogs bound, cats leap. Spring! Good to go to the East River and sit before Brooklyn with fresh knowledge of Hesiod on farming. Hesiod is off the Heasy, by the way. Have you seen Pritzi's Honor? It's terrible. But John Huston, it's good for like a 1940s movie made in 1983. Jack Nicholson is the most unconvincing Italian Brooklyn mobster in any film ever. Good, but he got nominated for an Oscar anyway. He had blackmail, I think. He's the devil. Good to be intent on Alkman's maiden song. Sit good for hours relearning the craft of classical verse. Welcome Epinician mode. Echian ode. Welcome Epinician ode. Welcome Epinician ode. Welcome. Yo, yo. Myths of calamity announce heat, heat by noonlight. Grains and berry bees. Elves bring handfuls of spring to the dying winter king. The old crinchberry poisoned will soon be dead, will soon be dead. I knew you'd come, wild architect. It's you I want. Oh, heartily I laugh. Why continue to bother about the profane ransom of Rome when there's you? Let the Turks and the missing noses of Greece roil on the bottom of the Ottomans' grease pots. Ha ha! Wow, okay. Yo, God! Get ye snow dogs and fumigations! Unlike the fawns on the banks of the Tiber, there's nursery for this age's cloven feet. Winter, that I've been your clown, that I've read your beady scripture. I hold no grudge. My joy could never wedged free from sorrow's old crack. Fuck, it's about to be winter. But that I've been your clown, that I've read your beady scripture, I could hold no grudge. Amarcord, we watched Amarcord this weekend. You got to watch Amarcord again because it's all about growing up under fascism. I mean, it's all about Italy in the fucking 20s and 30s and shit, 40s. And it's so poetic. It was written by a poet. I guess this guy who was a screenwriter who wrote a lot of Fellini's movies was a poet. And you want to talk about clown time? Jesus Christ, Fellini is fucking clown time, baby. He was a cartoonist, and I think Fellini's in the top three. Fellini, Film Bros. Why are you sleeping on Fellini? Is it because he's toxic? Is it 'cause I don't think he gets strong performances out of women. Fellini is one of the. It's just like it's pure spirit. But I don't know. Maybe I should watch Pasolini instead. But it's all about fascism, growing up. But it's nostalgic childhood movie too. I mean, Woody Allen's whole shit, Annie Hall, all his fucking '80s shit with uh not what the fuck is his movie? Not Radio Days. It's completely Amarcord. And why not? I mean, Amarcord is unbelievably great. Watch Amarcord. One of the great films, Amarcord. I remember. People say I Remember was a totally original poem. I'm not sure if Amarcord came out before or after I Remember, but I think it's sort of Joe Brainerd's Amarcord. 7. To the unicorn cling. It's Joe Brainerd's Christmas story. To the unicorn cling, failing, unlaughable lover of man. Your red nose is anti death, even though it's a sign of alcoholism. A jerk, I mean, that's why Kerouac, that's why W.C. Fields, right? The red nose, Falstaff, it's merry old England. Have a cup of sack. Just more sack. More cups of sack. Bawdy wench. I'm in love with the barmaid. Mistress tear sheet or whatever. Doll tear sheet. Cup of sack. We got to corrupt George Bush Jr. here. Or you're doing blow. Apparently everybody's doing blow now. Fuck it. Why not? It's Armageddon, baby. We're partying to death. It's Clown Town, baby. What the hell can we do? We are fucked as a human race. You know, the bad people have unprecedented ability to kill us and make us suffer. So to the unicorn cling. Your red nose is anti-death. Oh, a jerk of March you are. Born in mockery. Oh, that crazy month. But born in mockery like all men. From the womby head of a cheapskate. A stingy creep who got great kicks out of not telling you when and how and why life. Enough! To the unicorn. The clown's allowance of joy is to man is useless. Man is glued to sorrow and there is no escape. All your slapstick gold, useless. Go. Cling to the unicorn with faked ears and tufted hats. You'll never shake death's laughter of mercy, poor nut. Clown. Homeless clown in serious. Life's a laugh and death's a joke. It's true, right? Death is why we laugh because we have to. It's the only fucking thing we can steal. Death and sex and love and peace and poetry. Homeless clown in serious. The clown is homeless in serious. Serious circumstances. Serious XM radio. They're getting fat ass contracts. 8. Of course the unicorn will be killed. So don't think your red nose, your flabber mouth, your $1,000,000 laugh won't. Of course the circus will mourn. The fat lady, they'll mourn less. Fat shaming. You made kids laugh to make money, so don't think you're a golden clown. The time you cursed an acrobat, the time you refused a beggar, the time you cried. It's not the circus clown I sing, not the tumbling midge before the conqueror, made to dance before horses, not the joker whose arsenal teeth. I'm almost done with this, by the way. It's not that much longer. So people who are tuning out now because of the poetry, it's almost done. And I think this is important. This is important. It speaks to our modern situation, the unicorn being killed, and the clowns aren't all good. Not the tumbling midge before the conqueror, made to dance before horses. Not the joker whose arsenal teeth explosively haws out of jams. No, nor is it the tricker in whose hand the rope ends. Arsenal teeth, right? That's what we're talking about. The Joker, capital J. So he is probably talking about Batman, even though it's 1960. You know, the fucking gallery. There's some famous gallery. I don't know if it was Jack Spicer's gallery. There was some gallery, I think, in San Francisco, and it was literally called the Batman Gallery. You know, in 1960, or the 50s, even. So the Joker mode, the Joker thing, the stupid comic book bullshit, it's been around. 9. The comedy gone mad. Poor clown, the weather of sorrow. The clown's house for sale. Ain't that the fucking truth? Crying bricks and porch, rotting door and windows, and neat slopes of buttercups. This night, the finished clown, his stumps flash on gypsy caravan. The swinging lantern objects his leaving home. He's a phantom to Crystal. To ears, he's Harry Batter. The hag's future glimpse scarce allows him identity. This is like Jake LaMotta in the end of Raging Bull. He's this burlesque fucking loser. He's an open mic comic. He's an open mic host. The hag's future glimpse scarce allows him identity. Da 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 da. That's entertainment. The moon garments a cloud. And Corso, I mean, Corso became kind of a self-parody in a way. We all do. It's the American way. The moon garments a cloud. The last wagon baits two trees. It's like Elvis and the Colonel, okay? It's Elvis and the Colonel, okay? It's about loyalty, okay? Sometimes you just get fucked because you're loyal and you're exploited in show business. The moon garments a cloud. The last wagon baits two trees. He catches his ruffled neck. Whoa, his goopy scent. Goopy, like Gwyneth. He predicted Gwyneth. Birds gulp his amulets, baubles, and trinklets. The last wagon. Uh-oh. This is like Bergman. It's gone from Fellini to Bergman. The clown is dead. Pass along the highways of 1959. All clowns are dead. See the great dumps of them, swarmed by seagulls. Their tufted hats frayed. Their face, noses, and ears smoldering. Their polka dot coveralls darkening underneath the sun fairy's final night horn. I'm sorry, the language is just so metal that it demands to be read in this way. The heli, that's, I mean, it's a holocaust of clowns. It's clown holocaust. Not that it's funny to joke about the Holocaust. Shame on you. There's nothing funny about the Holocaust. We're kidding. Hey, these are fucking jokes, people. These are fucking jokes. Go get your fucking shine box, okay? I mean, Pesci is completely a demonic clown. What, I'm fucking funny? I'm like a fucking clown to you? Like I'm a fucking clown? Funny how? What do you mean I'm funny? Funny how? He's like fucking insulted. Because I'm fucking short? Because I'm fucking Shinebox? The circus's great mercy shoots fire! 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 The acrobats gnaw their wires. Ooh, they're committing suicide. Skeletal apes twist meatless bananas. Somebody left a banana in the corner. The lion trainer's bony jaw clanks on the lion's bony jaw. Oh, shit. They're clanking jaws with the lion. The trainer's clanking jaws with the lion. Hot dogs and Coca-Cola for the charnel. That's for sure. Fatty, fatty, fat. Keep eating fast food. And sucking down that fucking sugar water. Elephant tricked us on the purgative scale. 50 shrouded clowns pile out from a tiny tomb. What a killer fucking image. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable, man. Those teas. The tap dancing teas. Tall, tan, terrific, right? The three T's. That's what they said in the Cotton Club. We want the three T's: tall, tan, and terrific. So nothing's changed. They're still eugenically judging us by our height, our skin, and our attitude. Well, I'm short, pissed off, and pale. Pissed off, pale, and uh, what's another P word? I can't think of another fucking P word. Oh well. 10. But, but, I am an always clown and need not make dramatic death's diameter. Death, like a monkey's tail, wraps down spirally on a rising, ever rising pole. There's some phallic energy for you. Death is jacking off our penises with a monkey's tail. How to climb and sit on the turret. That's like a comedy move right there. I love those guys. I've always, even as a kid, I loved all Jack Benny. I listened to Jack Benny radio shows when I was a fucking child. That's how sad my life has been. I would get tapes, little fucking tapes from the public library. I couldn't believe they had them. I was like, oh my God. Fucking cassette tapes with Jack Benny radio programs from 1947. Whoa! Sweet! Climb and sit on the fucking turret, okay? Away from the breath of the sick. Away from the souls who sleep in death's cylindrical kick. Ah, this surfeit of charlatanry will never leave my organic Pyx, Pyx. Thank God. Whatever that means. Leave my organic Pyx. Thank God. More God stuff. Okay, so that's the end. We read Clown, everybody. That was today's hymnal. Let's see what Pyx means. That's got to be an abbreviation? Okay. A container used in the Catholic Church in a Python graphics package. This is the AI overview. Catholic Church container. This is a horrible answer, by the way. I would much rather have a human being, some kind of expert in the field, describe it. Don't they have some Catholic? Can I get some fucking hyper Catholic explanation of this? What does the Roman Catholic Church say it is? A small, round, or cylindrical, and I'm super Catholic, so I relate to all of this. A small, round, or cylindrical container used to carry the Eucharist to those who are unable to attend church. Pyxes are often made of metal and have a conical cover. They may be decorated with enamel, which was more affordable than gold or silver. Pyxes are hung above the altar in churches or used to transport the Eucharist to the sick. A bag or pouch for carrying a pyx is called a burse. Like a man purse. That's like a bussy. Is that like a bussy? Is a burse like a bussy? No, it's like a bursar's office when you go to college. I remember going to the bursar's office. What a nightmare that was. Going to the fucking bursar's office to get a disbursement. I guess they're shooting fucking body of Christ into your mouth. Bursar, the bursement. Okay, so carry the pyx in your burse. Never leave my organic pyx. But it's also kind of like pyx, like Pix 11, Pix like, like web pics, like send your nude pics. The surfeit of charlatanry will never leave my Organic picks, thank God. What the fuck does that mean? uh, it has movements, it kind of moves in these three parts where it's like it's kind of celebrating the clown in this kind of medieval way, then talking about killing the unicorn and the death of the clown. And then there's this kind of holocaust of the clowns, and then this weird kind of like epilogue that's about death and how you got to fuck your way out of it, I guess, with your burse, with your picks and your bursey. So you got to climb and sit on the turret away from the breath of the sick and from the souls who sleep in death's cylindrical kick. This surfeit. Surfeit means like what? It means like too much, right? An excess, or is it not enough? Surfeit. An excessive amount of something. So a surfeit of charlatan. Why does he want the excess charlatanry to stay in his picks, I wonder? It will never leave my organic picks, thank God. I don't know what the fuck that means. But apparently it's also a Python package for graphics that includes a Unicode engine for typesetting with Type 1 fonts. It's also a mint box, a box used in a mint to store sample coins for testing their weight and fineness. Oh, that's also kind of interesting. It is a mint box used for sample coins to test their weight and fitness. So maybe that's what he's doing. He's testing the weight and fitness of this surfeit of charlatanry. Interesting. But it's also this kind of Eucharist. The coin is Eucharist. Um, it does. Body of Christ looks a lot like a quarter or a 50-cent piece. Um, and look where we are now. The clowns are dead. They're filing out of that clown cough fucking tomb. And Luigi Mangione is killing CEOs. The clowns have turned into assassins. Adam S. What's up, my man? You just missed Clown Town. We're going to Clown Town today. We're painting our faces and we're laughing it up. What conclusion? What is the conclusion? Well, he doesn't. I guess he doesn't offer some cliche like, "Oh, no matter what fucking happens, I'm a clown. No matter what happens, no matter the clown holocaust, whatever the fuck happens." Clownvis. No, please tell us what Clownvis is. Is that like Christmas for clowns, or is that like Festivus? Is that like the SantaCon for clowns? Let's Clownvis. Oh, it's Elvis. It's Clown Elvis. Click to read about the Clownvis beer. He's got merch out the ass. He has a Wikipedia page. He has 22,000 Instagram followers. Is he on Twitch? He's on X. Clownvis, live from the Boom Boom Room. He's got a YouTube page, everybody. Look up Clownvis Presley. As if Elvis wasn't enough of a clown. Elvis completely was a clown in the best way, bringing joy to people. I mean, look at those fucking jumpsuits and shit. Jerry Garcia was completely a clown. John Mayer is more like a stand-up comedian or something. He's like a toxic stand-up. All right, it's Clown Town, baby. That's your assignment, I guess. We're all going to Clown Town. Somebody gave me this Willy Wonka style hat, so it's Wonka vision, baby. I guess I should dress up as some kind of stupid fucking clown character when I do my live streams. I should paint my face and, I don't know, present like I'm a clown. Clownvis chili dog. So he's like Kiss, except he's like Krusty the Clown. You want to talk about one of my all-time fucking heroes? Somebody I still think of like regularly to this day when I'm making any kind of decision in my life and who I am is Krusty the Clown. Krusty the Clown kind of has the ultimate like showbiz. He's like Springfield's, and they kind of graft all these like showbiz kind of lore things Like Krusty has a lot of things in common with Jerry Lewis. He had like a pacemaker. He had some kind of quadruple bri he's in the Zipper Club. Yeah, Krusty's all fucked up. Krusty is just like the ultimate, "Ugh." I love the grizzled, "Ugh." I constantly will do that to myself when I see something on Instagram about how I'm a loser and blah, 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 I just go, "Ugh. I'm gonna take a bath on those fucking those that merchandising tie-in, the crusty razor cereal or whatever the fuck it is. Ugh, what am I involved in now? But he's the ultimate like comeback, right? Like the Krusty comeback special, and he just lived it. I mean, Krusty is he had a Jack Parr style talk show. He's like he went through all the eras. That was a common like boomer joke. Was like Gary Shandling on Gary Shandling show did like all of the he parodied that whole journey, or like Spinal Tap, right? They got flower people, and they're like on an Ed Sullivan type show. Krusty, like he did it all. He knows everybody. He knows Carson. He knows Bette Midler. He knows the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He knows Luke Perry. He's related to Luke Perry. But I don't know. He's Jewish. He's from the Lower East Side. Jackie Mason is his dad. So he's got that kind of borscht belt thing. Um, he's a hero. Krusty the Clown, one of my personal heroes, show business legend, one of the giants of show business. They should do a live Krusty thing. They should just do it once, just to do it. They should do like a Krusty the Clown 75th birthday party or something, and have Dan Castellaneta do it. Supposedly, and this is one of my favorite Simpsons things, is they were gonna do a spin-off. They were gonna do a live action Krusty the Clown spin-off with Dan Castellaneta in makeup as like a real show, but they said it was just too expensive. They could do things on The Simpsons. He said they had some kind of storyline about a beavers eating Krusty's house or something, but they couldn't do it because it was too expensive. So The Simpsons is not that expensive because they can do anything because it's animation. You know, they could literally set off a fucking bomb, have thousands of fucking characters. Like they have 7 actors or something, and one of them just retired. Millhouse retired. Good, a job well done, a life well lived, a purpose well served. The actor that played fucking Millhouse really just crushed. Millhouse, one of the iconic characters. I mean, how many people their whole fucking existence was? I mean, Millhouse would probably be a .com billionaire by now. I think they should just age the Simpsons characters. I think it's gone on too long. They shouldn't reboot it. They should just start letting them get older. I think that, and just let them have kids and shit. Let there be more generations of Simpsons characters. Yeah, Zippy the Pinhead. I remember seeing Zippy the Pinhead cartoons when I was a kid. My dad, I was just around like head shops and kind of like we'd go over to like his musician friend's house, his drummer's house or whatever, Jim Casto's house over by, what is that park in Columbus? Oh, fuck. Tuttle Park. It was over by Tuttle where there was a swimming pool. I don't think it's the Jim Casto. Maybe it is. I mean, Jim Casto is an incredible guy. He's an incredible entertainer and musician. He's a drummer, but he has this act. I forget what he calls it, but he's like a lounge act. He like sings, and he's like a total hipster. He's like a cognoscenti. He's into Orson Welles and like film and all that shit. He probably is into Burroughs. Supposedly, Jim Casto, he was in this band called Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires, which I encourage people to look up because they were the band during like my parents' lifetime that was like people thought they were going to be famous. Yeah, he's a big guy. He looks like Orson Welles. He looks just like Orson Welles. Is he on YouTube or something? Or last I saw him, he looked just like Orson Welles, which that was probably 15 years ago. But I remember going to this guy's house when I was a kid, and he didn't look like Orson Welles. He looked like I don't know, Eddie Vedder or something. He looked like this tall guy with like a ponytail. Um, he looked like he could be in the fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. This was like 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And we go over to his house, and he was super cool guy. Just the vibe. It was a bohemian vibe, right? That was look. Now I realize that's what like that was. That's what like distinguished it. It was like, oh, this is like bohem. I didn't know that. I was just a little kid, but it's like Zippy the Pinhead was something that you saw, and you're like, oh, that's a clown, okay. But then you kind of realize, like, oh, that's not for me. Like it felt like bad or something. That was still the '80s when it was like, fucking Reagan war on drugs and shit. Bush, all the Nintendo games had an FBI warning. That was the first fucking thing you saw. It was like FBI warning, drugs are bad or whatever, the narc or whatever. And so I remember going with my dad to this place, Monkey's Retreat, which was an underground comics store slash like Tai Chi slash like head shop. It was like they had like Buddhist. It was like Allen Ginsberg meets like Crumb. These guys were from New York. They had a store in New York, and they opened a store in Columbus. They maybe went to Ohio State or something. And it was like a local, back before the internet, those were like that was the underground. It was like you go to fucking the comic store and you buy like fucking R. Crumb comics, and they like have tits in them or whatever. And you're like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. So as a little kid, you're like trying to make sense of this, and you're like, what the fuck? Where is like these are like comics, but like this place smells fucking weird. Smells like BO and like dank. And yet they're selling like comics, and but like, oh, you can't look at those. Those aren't for kids. Daddy's here on business. So this guy was like connected to like rock and roll and shit. He played music. So it was all like musicians, but it was a counterculture or like that sort of thing. The circuits that those things ran on. Tai Chi, there were yin yang symbols everywhere, incense, uh, you know, and Raw magazine and Zippy the fucking Pinhead. And what was I saying about Jim Casto? Oh, so he was in this band Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires, which I encourage people to look up on YouTube because people thought the guy's kind of like Bowie. They're kind of derivative. I think that's why people like them. People in Columbus, 21 Pilots came out of Columbus. I'm not really sure how that happened, but they're kind of like new Columbus. They feel like Polaris or something. They feel like they're from Powell. Whereas like Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires, they were kind of recycled. I don't know. It's good stuff. The guy died, I guess. He OD'd or something. But supposedly Frank Zappa saw Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires. He wandered into this place, Mean Mr. Mustard's, before one of his gigs, and he saw Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires, and he was gonna sign them. This is like their big story about how they almost made it, but it didn't happen. It's like Zappa saw him and he was like, "These guys are as good as Bowie," or something. He said something like that. The Ritz brothers. Fritz the Cat. Yeah, Fritz the Cat, exactly. Um, Art Spiegelman. I remember my mom had this Raw comics when I was a little kid. It was a big book, and it was like, it was like drawn in quarterly or something. In fact, I think that was drawn in quarterly. I'm not exactly sure, but there was stuff in it that was like violent, graphic, but it was drawings. So as a little kid, you're like reading it, and you're like, what the? You're drawn to it because it's a comic book, but it's very adult. It's like Joe Sacco or whatever the fucking guy is. Um, and I love all that stuff. Crumb and Art Spiegelman, Harvey Picard, of course. Harvey Picard was not really lewd. He wasn't really like obscene. Crumb, it's like he gets off on that stuff. He gets off on like exposing his most twisted, wildest, well, maybe not his most twisted, but some of his twisted stuff. But I encourage people to check out Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires. This guy, Pete Lenzel, who was a saxophone player that my dad played in bands with, he was in it with Jim Casto. And this guy, Matt Newman, was the guitar player. He was in that band, the Randys, which is one of my favorite bands. In Columbus, everything is kind of local, but it's cool. There's a culture and like people really do enjoy it. And a lot of the bands are fucking good. They really sound fucking good. Columbus is like, people are very serious about music. And up until the past 15 years, it was a cheap place to live. So couple that with the university, there's information economy, fashion economy. It was a sort of a hit place like Austin, Texas, but it wasn't famous. Columbus never blew up, even like Athens, Georgia, or Seattle or whatever. It's like Columbus is still kind of this insecure city, really, that like it doesn't really have a national cultural identity. People like Ronald Cole and the Trillionaires, or Willie Phoenix, who I played with, who's another amazing artist and poet and troubadour and clown and songwriter. I mean, that guy has a catalog as deep as anybody, as deep as Springsteen. In a certain way, it's as deep as Bob Dylan. I mean, but Willie Phoenix has really written a lot of great songs that are lyrically, very meaningful and poetic, and he's as good as Springsteen is. I mean, he just didn't really make it because he's from fucking Columbus, Ohio. He lived in New York for a few years, and he almost, you know, had a chance, but he's still doing it, and people in Columbus still fucking love him. His gigs are packed, they're sold out, and he's got a fucking street named after him in Columbus. But he was never really like national, right? Like Alice Cooper. I'll bet Zappa probably discovered a lot of people. I think Steve Vai started out with Zappa. He started out like transcribing Zappa shit. I am gonna get off pretty soon because I gotta head to this open mic. Thank you for watching. What a session. We really got into all of it today. Clowning, everybody. Embrace your inner clown. Don't worry about it. I think it's just a way to kind of like not take yourself as seriously, maybe. I don't know. It's a way to like laugh at yourself. And even though society hates clowns because of the media character assassination basically on clowns for 50 fucking years basically. Okay, clownvis. Yes, we need to get into clownvis. Thank you for the rec, Adam S. It's nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in from Seattle. Good luck with your whatever you decide to do. If you want to move, or I'm trying to find this Luigi's Mansion reference. I had a reference to Luigi's Mansion, and I even read it at a fucking reading. But I can't remember what fucking poem it was in. I would like to end on this. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I mean, it's you guys. Thank you for watching. You're my real friends. You're my family now. Yeah, so I have to get 2 root canals, Bruce Holiday. I went to the dentist yesterday. He told me I need to get 2 root canals. It makes sense Jordan Peterson would rave about the Crumb documentary. It's a great movie, and a lot of people have raved about it. A lot of people said it was the best movie of that year. And I have it right here, as a matter of fact, on DVD. As a matter of fact, it's right here. Crumb. I can relate to the Crumb story because of his brothers, right? The story with him and his brothers. He's got 2 brothers, and they're kinda like these weird they have some kinda autism or something, but that makes them highly, highly, adept at what he does. He's able to draw these incredibly and they were doing that as kids. Like, literally, when Crumb was, like, a fucking maybe even before he was a teenager, they were, like, drawing, like, full-length narrative fucking comics that, like, were pretty good, to be honest. Um, what the fuck did I say about Luigi's Mansion? I gotta find this Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Crumb documentary, I would definitely recommend it. It's a just a I'm not exactly sure why people are so, like, stan for that movie, because it's just a documentary, really. It's Terry Zwigoff, who, I don't know, he's got a certain touch or something, but it's very similar in a certain way to the fucking, Woody Allen kind of sensibility, where he's sorta like, uh, just a perv. And, like, he's into, like, old-timey jazz and shit. He's in, like, an old-timey jazz band, and, he likes, like Crumb's not really into young women, he's into, like, women with, like, big legs and shit. He likes Sheena of the Jungle. Crumb is a Moses archetype. There you go. I cannot find this fucking Luigi oh, maybe this is it. I think this is it. Yeah. This was the poem I wrote after, becoming a ghost in a haunted mansion. Oh, this was about, the Lincoln movie, weirdly enough. That's kind of a weird, synchronicity or coincidence is that, this poem I wrote, I had this line where I mentioned Luigi's Mansion, which is like Nostradamus. Luigi's Mansion will collapse on the medicine man in the metropolitan, um, inn and suites in the year 20 after the Orange Nightmare employs Luigi's Mansion. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. I won't read it right now, but I was trying to find another way to say I for some reason that Lincoln movie just I don't know, it felt like the White House. I don't know why I kept using mansion. Maybe the movie just felt like a mansion. That Lincoln movie has grown on me. When I first saw it, I fucking hated it, but I think it's an important movie. And it's kind of an old fat it's almost like a black and white movie. But there's like a damp, kind of muddy poetry to it that I think is part of that was a down and dirty moment, battle, Civil War. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was the absolute probably nastiest moment in this country's history. So, and obviously the assassination. How was your root canal experience, Bruce Halliday? I'd just like to hear about it. My brother said it was really not a big deal, but I've had dental I've been to the dentist. I've experienced extreme tooth pain. It's not really anything new to me. So I don't think it's going to be anything I haven't necessarily experienced before, to be honest. I've had drills in my fucking teeth and I've had extreme toothache for days and days and days. Like, to be honest, and this is going to sound so stupid, I'm glad I have fucking health insurance now where I can actually handle this, but like, uh, it is better to just get it done. It kind of requires that you keep going to the dentist. If you just go once and like get fillings and shit and then you don't go back, it's like those things will deteriorate. Like your teeth, it's not like they fix it once and it's fixed. It's like they fix it once and then it's still going to continue to deteriorate And so, I heard something about a filling usually lasts like 10 years or something. It's like, that's why you gotta keep going to the fucking dentist. And it's not it is what it is, I never expected it to be a fucking leg problem for me. That's what I'm, like, really worried about is, like, what if this doesn't fix my leg? What if I get a root canal and my leg still fucking hurts? Then I'm gonna be like, "Oh, great. Now what the fuck do I do? I just had a root canal for no fucking reason." Because to be honest, my teeth don't really hurt. They told me I have 2 infections, which I'm not surprised by at all. I've had an infection basically for probably 8 months or something. That's just life in America. That's why we unalive the CEO. Let's try to make this a constructive criticism and make it a positive learning experience. This is a teachable moment, okay? Okay? We know it's bad. We know it's bad that he shot the CEO, but it was a cry for help. And these people, they're just that's all they want. Don't make it so we can go to the fucking dentist. Wait, make it so I don't have to have an infection for 8 goddamn months that makes my face puff up and my hair go white. And just make it so I can go and not stress about it bankrupting me and ruining me financially. That's all we ask. This is the wealthiest country that's ever existed. Every other fucking civilized country has fucking health insurance. Like, that's what this crime was about. That is completely 100% what it was about. And so hopefully if that's what it takes to get through to these fucking people is assassinating one of them across the street from the rest of them, I don't know. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not a Unabomber type. Okay. Let me just go on YouTube and say that. I am not a Unabomber type. I don't admire the Unabomber. It's not occurring to me to like be a weather underground person. Oh, it made his dick go limp. That's what it was. Okay. I just thought he couldn't have sex or like he couldn't be in sexual positions, but it makes sense if it made it impossible for him to have an erection. Then maybe his life is over. He's basically castrated at that point. That's crazy. Interesting. Did you read that on Reddit? It sounds like it's true. Poor Luigi. Poor motherfucking Luigi. The whole internet is thirsting over you. Get some Cialis or something, man. What about remember in Born on the 4th of July? It's like all the spinal guys are down in Mexico and they're all getting laid. They're all like with prostitutes and shit. I don't know if they can feel it, but unable to have sex. Yeah. I read something about like it's painful for him to be in like sexual positions because of his spine. That's why he like doesn't have sex. It's like it's too painful. But it totally could be that he doesn't get his can't get it up. But I mean, look at the picture of those nails in his fucking spine. I mean, would you have that fucking surgery? That's why I didn't go to the dentist because I was afraid they were going to be like, "Oh, your jaw is fucked up and you need um they ended up yanking the tooth too. Shit, okay. I think the infection is just like so deep in there. I don't know. When I looked at the x-rays, honestly, they didn't look that bad. I was expecting to see some kind of really the dentist didn't even seem that worried about it. They weren't like, "Holy shit, look at these fucking teeth. What have you been doing?" They were just kind of like, "You need 2 root canals, you have a few other cavities and like maybe a wisdom tooth that's might be a problem." Which like considering I haven't been to the dentist in 20 fucking years, like it could be a lot worse. Not that I'm looking forward to it or anything, but like I was just worried it was going to be like some kind of, oral surgery. That's what I keep hearing. Is a root canal oral surgery? I keep hearing friends of mine and people I know being like, "Oh, I got some oral surgery on Tuesday." It's like, I don't want any fucking oral surgery. I don't want him to fuck me up like they did to this guy. Like I am sort of a subscriber to the belief that like in this country, especially where medicine is like hyper capitalized and hyper you know uh financialized and privatized and all this, like it's almost better to not go to the fucking doctors a lot of the time, to be honest, because they're just trying to charge you money or scare you, or there's nothing they can even fucking do for you, or they're going to try to get you on fucking some kind of medication or antidepressants or blah blah blah. I think that was part of the assassin's fucking thing is he had some kind of thing with medication where it was like I don't know if he was on it or I know I'm being vague as hell. um but I don't know. He is just another kind of child of the elite. I think that's why he had the agency to do this because like he's not just some like poor ass meth fucking shell of a skull tobacco chewing fucking red pilled homophobic racist white goblin. This was like completely tactical, completely. Yeah, the fact that he got caught is completely the way he got caught is completely a fumble to me. He had 5 fucking days to get away. I can't believe they didn't have an ID on the guy. They had no idea where the fuck he was. He was gone. They didn't know where he was outside of New York City. And not only that, but the internet was kind of conspiring to keep his identity secret. All I see in the fucking comment sections are he's innocent. I don't That's not the guy. Don't snitch. All of that. Everybody sort of there's a solidarity about we're not going to snitch on this guy. He easily could have gotten out of the fucking country. If he was smart enough to do all of that shit he did, how did he not get out of the country? That's what I want to know. Or forging documents, 3D printing a fucking gun. Maybe that's not intelligence, that's just like resourcefulness. And then to get stuck in a fucking Altoona, Pennsylvania fucking McDonald's, like that's like Chinatown bus shit. Like when I take the bus or when I used to take the bus between Columbus and New York, it was a cheap alternative to every other form of travel. It was like when I started doing it, it was like $25. But they stop at all these, the turnpike, it's just all these rest stop, gas stations, Starbucks, uh, Burger King. It's all built into one fucking like travel plaza where like truckers pull off to gas up and sleep and get coffee or whatever, get fucking Doritos Locos and Monster Energy drink and 5 Hour Energy and whatever the fuck else is out there. The fact the dude was just sitting in a fucking McDonald's, like, how did he not see that the whole internet? He had to have. He had to know what was going on. Where the whole internet was talking about it, was kind of catalyzed by it. Frankly, I mean that's how these eras start. There's one person that fires a fucking gun. The meaning of the crime, these mass shootings have their effect has worn off. They happen so much that you don't even remember the fucking guys. It's just like these guys think they're going to make themselves famous or something. It's like it happens so often that it's just like we're numb to it in a way, as sad and pathetic as that is. But this guy's crime is a whole different dimension to it, where it's I don't know. It's I don't know. It's gonna have a different kind of domino effect. I think it's gonna people are gonna react to it in in a new kind of you know, uh, we're in the Pluto and Aquarius, right? It's the age of revolutions, and the nature of the crime seems like it has shifted from these mass shootings to whatever this is going to be. This guy shooting at Trump. This this will probably, I don't know if look at the fucking '60s and all the shit that happened then. It's like this is just a symptom, of the ways that people are suffering because of these corporations, because of the insurance companies, because of the fast food, because of uh big pharma, because of et cetera, et cetera. Social media companies, whatever. The back problems were initially from a surfing accident. This whole chain of events started with a wave. There you go. History, Kali Yuga. There you go. Yeah. History being set into motion. Like, I don't know. There's just a kind of a destiny to those type of things. It does feel like some kind of crossroads or new beginning or something. I mean, Pluto just went into Aquarius like literally a couple weeks ago, and now all this shit is happening. So that's what I use astrology for, to kind of read the these shifts. And it's not a coincidence. These things are all part of like a greater fractal pattern of like vibration, behavior, light, gravity, the fucking planets. And it's a time for action and a time for history. I'm an Aquarius too. I don't know what it means, to be honest. I've heard all kind of different shit. I heard that Pluto in Aquarius is not going to be as rough as it was with Capricorn, because Capricorn and Aquarius and Pluto are like adversarial signs, whereas Pluto and Aquarius sort of get along. So I'm hoping that after 15 years of basically from the crash in 2008 and to now, it's been in Capricorn. And so, we've seen Trump, we've seen nationalism, we've seen financial insanity, whatever, tech taking over of everything, social media taking over, influencer culture, widening wealth inequality. Now we're in the beginning of revolutionary age, uprising, new governments. So it's up to us to guide that into something better, which I think we can do. If you look at the sentiment on the internet, I think people's heads and hearts are in the right places. But we're being kind of commandeered and hijacked by these billionaires that want to force us, like like Bezos. He loves that Trump got elected. It's just going to make him more powerful and rich. And so there is like a power unbalance between uh the CEO billionaire class, their companies, and the masses, basically. And hopefully, this will be the beginning of some kind of like parity and leveling out of that. I think people see it. I've talked about this before, but I do expect that they'll ban TikTok, because TikTok definitely, that's where counter uh discourse happens and spreads like wildfire. That the like that guy said about Israel, we don't have a uh political problem. We have like a youth problem. Like all these young kids are on TikTok. We have a TikTok problem. That's why they're all radicalized against Israel, and that's why they have solidarity in their counter kind of almost like insurgent positions. And so TikTok really is where people um, organize almost, and so they'll definitely take it away, or force American company to run it, or they'll create a copycat or something. Like it's just it's too much of a threat to their control of, and I don't know. I mean, Maybe there's too many organizing spaces, but it seems like these billionaires who own the social media, like Elon, they see what he's doing and they realize that they're intent on controlling the narrative through their algorithm. They have a agenda about what they want to use it for and how they want to shape the public narrative, and they'll use it for that. And they'll force it down our throats. So where will we? Like Twitter, are people still organizing on Twitter? Now it just feels like it's red pilled based racist pornography or whatever. I haven't been on it. I quit almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, but all right, I got to get off. Thank you guys for watching. Who the fuck knows? It probably is going to be a wild ride. What a ride it's been, as Robert Evans says. What a ride. What a ride. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back on probably tomorrow because it's Thursday and this is what we do. We read poetry on the internet too. Thank you for watching Adam Esper's Holiday, and God bless you. God bless us all, everyone, and God bless America. Watch The Verdict with Paul Newman, directed by Sidney Lumet. We'll talk soon. Ciao, ciao. Arrivederci, baby.